If you don't know anybody in Jefferson County, it has the COVID-19, now you do. I'm Bob Kinder, and I had the COVID-19 virus about a month ago now. Been out of quarantine for 2 weeks and feeling really good. First I had a sinus infection that went to a virus infection that went into the COVID-19 infection. I knew I had a very high fever, and fever was running a little over 102. And then I collapsed going up the stairways in our house. And at that time we called the doctor. And then she admitted me to the ER over at St. Anthony's Hospital. There was 2 nurses there that met me. And we just rolled me right in to get another COVID test. And they started drawing blood. And that was the last I saw my wife until I got out of the hospital. The whole thing was really blurred to me because I was so ill. I really couldn't catch what all was going on until they wheeled me up to the quarantine area. And then in my room, laying there in the bed, I could hear all the ventilators going. That's when I think it really struck home how serious this really is. When I was released from the hospital, I had come straight home, and I had 2 weeks of house quarantine on top of that. And basically I just stayed indoors, didn't go out anywhere, didn't want to make any people contact whatsoever. Tried to protect my wife and myself. And I slept. I mean, I slept all night, all day, probably more than I ever have. And when I got out of quarantine, I sat out in the front porch in the sun. It felt so good. The warm sun just felt great. And finally started to relax a little bit. I see a lot of people still not really taking it serious. And until you go through it or have a loved one that has, I don't think it really hits home. I see a lot of people still acting as though it's no big deal. And trust me, it's life-threatening. It really is. And for people to take it really casual really bothers me, especially going through it myself now. The doctor and I, we cannot figure it out. We just don't know where the location or how I contracted the virus itself. Both Jefferson County and the CDC are asking me to come in and give plasma, which I'm going to do. I was admitted to St. Anthony's again, and I'd like to thank all the doctor staff, and as well as all the nursing and the housekeeping. It's amazing the work that they're doing, and the treatment they gave me over there was over the top. And most of all, I'd like to thank my wife for taking care of me over these past few weeks. It's been literally a month and a half that I've been in the house. I'm about ready to go nuts.